Hey guys, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be, if you think beating your TMS or distraction pain symptoms are going to be a beast, it will be so. Before I jump into that topic, I just wanted to announce quickly, I was recently, as a result of these videos, and as a result of one of my viewers sharing one of my videos into a group on Facebook, Nicole Sachs just invited me to speak at her, what's it called? The Freedom from Chronic Pain workshop she's running at the Omega Institute in Rhinebeck, New York. It actually is coming up July 21st through 26th. That's very quickly. It's only a few days away. So if you want to jump into it, I posted on Pain For You the link where you can check it out, so check it out. Really excited. And what's really funny is I get about 30 minutes to present, and as you know from watching my videos, I'm not one for being very brief. I like to explain things. So as I was brainstorming topics, I came up with this full page worth of ideas, and I've got 30 minutes. So that should be really interesting. So I've got a main topic, and I'm going to touch on a couple other main teaching points that I like to cover. So anyway, that's what's going on there. As far as today's topic, this came about from seeing somebody talking about how coming down with these symptoms, these chronic pain and all these things is so easy to do. Like, it just kind of happens. We get to a place in life and all of a sudden the pain happens, and before you know it, you're down the medical wormhole, and before you know it, you've got chronic symptoms. And he likened getting how it was so easy to get into chronic pain, but it was so massively difficult to get out, right? And he blew it so far out of proportion. And he was talking about how it's kind of like how it's easy to put on weight. And you just kind of, eat whatever you want, and before you know it, you're 300 pounds. And how it's so easy to put on weight, but it's so difficult to take it off. And it just really resonated with me that what you believe about something that you're about to undertake is going to be true. So if you think it's going to be super difficult and super hard to lose that weight, it's going to be. If you think you don't have the willpower or the discipline or the motivation to lose that weight, you're not going to have it, right? So the same thing really holds true with ending your TMS or distraction pains, symptoms or pain. If you build this into this huge monster that's so impossible to overcome, that's what it's going to be. So it's really important that you decide that, number one, and I just posted a little meme on this, but number one, my future is going to be brighter than today. And number two, I have the capability of making that happen. And so that meme is relevant to this topic because I believe what you believe about something will be true. If you believe it's easy, it's going to be easy. If you believe it's hard, it's going to be hard, right? And that's not delusional thinking. That's accurate thinking. Because if you say something that is incredibly difficult and very hard, like it's so hard to feel my feelings, I've always been bad at feeling my feelings, so I can't feel them. It's so hard for me. I get so upset and then I want to withdraw. And like, the more you build up feeling your emotions or doing this work or ending your symptoms with this type of work as this huge monster, you'll be right. So that's why so many of my videos are all very straightforward, easy to understand, and really take away a lot of the fear of these chronic symptoms and chronic pain. Because when you really boil it down, these symptoms and pain are merely a distraction. There's nothing wrong with our body. So it's not like we've got to do this mind-bending stuff to heal our body. There's nothing wrong with our body. We just simply have to learn that emotions are safe and we are safe within our body, and that it's okay to be human and to feel these overwhelming dangerous, scary emotions, which they aren't scary, and you actually can handle them if you decide that you can. Look, ignoring your emotions doesn't make them go away. It doesn't. They remain buried, and they will they will show up and wreak havoc later on in your life if you don't allow yourself to feel these emotions. So I call them unresolved emotions. Sarno called them repressed emotions. I think it's a little of both. Sometimes it is, and again, I'm no scientist here, so the difference between repression and unresolved is probably a gray area, and we could debate that if you want, but I'd rather not. Simply put, my belief is unresolved emotions are the emotions that we have been taught are unacceptable, uncool, scary, and dangerous and overwhelming, and they don't fit in with our own self-image. So they automatically, subconscious just says, let's get rid of that, right? That's the repression part of it. But unresolved also can be emotions that you're consciously aware of, and you just say, I don't have time for that. I don't feel like dealing with that. I'm just going to put it out of my mind. You ever said those words? I'm going to put it out of my mind. And that's a conscious decision to lock these emotions up somewhere. Another piece of unresolved emotions are those emotions that we really feel, like we really get pissed off at somebody and we never let it go. And we're holding on to resentment, and we're holding on to those grudges seemingly forever, right? And that is also an unresolved emotion. And as I talked about before, we have a choice as to which type of pain you wish to feel. And if we choose to not resolve these negative emotions, which are normal human emotions, if we choose to not allow ourselves to feel these emotions, and then once we felt them, allow them to vacate the premises and leave, if you're choosing to reject that negative emotional charge, it's eventually going to unleash itself into your body, right? And why is that? Because we feel our emotions in our body. We have a heavy heart. We get all choked up. We feel like we got kicked in the gut, right? So emotions need to be felt emotionally, right? Allow yourself to sit with those emotions, because again, if we reject them long enough, they will show up as physical pain or other symptoms. And that emotional charge has to go somewhere, so it kind of goes and unloads into the body. So, my encouragement here is to check your language. If you're telling people, or even yourself, this is so hard, this work is so hard, I really don't like doing it. All right, stop calling it work, first of all. I know that's a very common phrase out there, do the work, do the work, do the work. Okay, well, how about allow yourself to feel your emotions? Allow yourself to journal, allow yourself to just sit with your emotions, allow yourself to turn down the volume on your stress system and the stress hormones raging through your body. Allow is a great word, because then it doesn't feel as forced, right? Watch the use of your language. If you talk about how hard this is and how challenging it is, and I'll never be able to beat my symptoms, you're going to be right, because what you believe is what you get, right? Really critical. So watch your language. Stop using medical terms to describe TMS, and just use the term too much stress. Hey, what's wrong with your back? Too much stress. Getting some spasms, but it's nothing. Versus, I have spinal stenosis and disc degeneration at C4 and C5, and I also have sciatica and neuropathy. Which one sounds more ominous? Yeah, I'm hurting because I'm all stressed out. Too much stress, but I'm working on that. Thanks for asking. Or all of that medical terminology, which sounds much more permanent and doom and gloom. So, too much stress means it's temporary. These medical terms, boy, do they have a permanence to them, because you now have a label. And if you walk around telling everybody that label that you've got, you're now painting this out to be this huge monster and this huge beast that is extremely difficult to overcome because the label has authority and you are basically screwed. So I encourage you to start calling it what it is. It's a distraction. It's too much stress, right? It's my body freaking out a little bit because I've been very overwhelmed lately, both emotionally and stress-wise. See how much easier that sounds to deal with than medical labels and this beast of a thing called TMS, which those initials mean something to people who have studied Sarno, and hopefully you all have. If you haven't read his books, please do. But TMS is not descriptive even in using it to yourself. If you say, I have TMS, your brain goes, I don't know what that is, a couple initials. So if you call it distraction pain or distraction symptoms, or even just, the result of too much stress in my life, emotional stress, work stress, life stress, it becomes a lot less scary to our subconscious. And when you continually couch it that way as something like, why is it so easy to feel my emotions, right? Why is it so easy is a great phrase to get to use a lot of. Why is it so easy to feel my emotions? Why do I know I'm going to beat this pain and I'm going to eliminate these symptoms? Why do I know it's not going to be challenging or difficult? It's just a matter of allowing myself to truly embrace what's really underneath the surface here, right? Do you hear the difference in the language between that and, oh, the feeling these emotions is so stressful, I can't do it, and I cry for hours, and, like you're painting yourself into a corner with the doom and gloom, making a mountain out of molehill language. And I am not in any way, shape minimizing your emotional traumas and your emotional experience and the challenges you've got or we have in life. I am just suggesting that language matters. Watch that video. And as far as this TMS stuff goes and these symptoms go and doing this process to allow yourself to feel the emotions, don't make it out to be more challenging than it is. You do not have to dedicate 15 hours a day to doing this process, right? Get up, do the work, right? Here I just used the term work. Do the process, allow yourself to deeply feel the guttural, brutal truth of what's really going on emotionally in your world. Soothe yourself afterwards, and then go about your day. Decide, what do I want to do today? What do I need to do today? And how can I do it and have fun, right? That was my other recent video. How much fun can you have? Right? Let's not make this out to be bigger than it is, because the pain seemingly came out of nowhere. And guess what? When you turn down your fear levels about the symptoms themselves, and you work on building your belief about what's going on, it can be easy for the pain or other symptoms to let go. And one day it's going to happen and you're going to go, oh my God, where's my pain? I don't feel it, right? And sometimes it'll come back at you because you're looking for it, which I encourage you not to do. Be grateful, do a dance, do a jig, woo, right? This does not have to be such a struggle and such a fight. And I know there's a lot of words of encouragement like, don't quit, keep fighting. How about just relaxing? You're not broken. Relax. You can do this. Believe you can, and you can. So I'm going to shoot a video in a couple of minutes about belief and fear and how those two interplay. And I'm not even going to change my shirt. So if you think I am wearing the same shirt 2 days in a row, you're wrong. I just shot two videos and just posting them on separate days. So thanks for watching. Do not make out this whole pain and other symptoms as such a beast. I know the impact on our life has been big, but what's necessary to get rid of it is not as challenging or as difficult as you think. Just commit to a daily process of allowing yourself to feel these emotions, soothe yourself, and focus on what you want, not what you don't want, which is more of the symptoms and more of a life full of them. So with that, I will talk to you guys in the next video. See ya.